Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is episode 2 of Bonnet Conversations. I wanted this conversation to be chill, relaxed, and I'm going to talk about people pleasing and having a cringy personality. I used to be a people pleaser, but I stopped that because it's too much, Chow. It's too much. People pleasing is such a terrible, terrible thing. And I'll explain to you why. Explain what people pleasing is first, because there are people that probably think like, oh yeah, I'm not a people pleaser, but it's like you are. So people pleasing, it's like doing things for people, but you don't want to do them. Like deep down, you don't want to do it. Like let's say someone is like, oh yeah, can you, I don't know, cut my hair, but you have like an appointment, you want to do something else, and then you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll cut your hair, but it's like you also want to go and do something, right? And then what's going to happen is you're going to, I don't know, help your friend cut their hair, right? Cut the hair, and then now you're like, man, I'm so mad. Darra, darra, darra. It's like, well, you could have just said, oh, I can't do it. It's like the inability to say no. People pleasing is like failing to say no because you're afraid of people not liking you. But you also have to understand that, like, you saying no is having a boundary. It doesn't, like, the right people will find you. If you say no and then someone dislikes you or like doesn't want to play with you, then that was never your friend, or that was never like your homie, your partner, or whoever the person might be. So people pleasing is definitely like a manipulative thing. Like think of it in a situation of like boy and girl, like boyfriend and girlfriend. If the boyfriend is buying a girl like flowers, I don't know, clothes, cakes, da da da, gifts, da da da, whining and dining, but it's like deep down he doesn't like her, or like deep down he doesn't want to do these things. Obviously, it's manipulation. That's what we call manipulation in relationships, right? So the same thing that's evident in relationships is the same thing in friendships. Whoever you're doing it to, it's literally the same freaking thing. Because it's like you're doing something, but you deep down you don't want to do it, and you're always going to hold them accountable, or like have that, should I say, like an upper hand. Then that's messed up. You're definitely people pleasing. If you're keeping count of like the nice things that you're doing, then it's like, honey, you're not nice. Like you're not nice, you're people pleasing. And I didn't realize that I was people pleasing back in the day, but yes, I was a people pleaser, and it's such a terrible, terrible trait. It's something that takes time, especially because saying no is can be very difficult. But then I've learned that like saying no will never push people that rate you away. Like people that truly care about you and people that love you, if you tell them like, no, I actually cannot do this, they will understand. They will create that space for you. Like, it's okay, we can have boundaries and still be good partners, we can have boundaries and still be good friends, whatever the situation might be. But if you say no to someone and they react in a certain way that's like kind of crazy, then that was never your person or your friend to begin with. So the thing with people pleasing is you have to get used to saying no, get used to people not liking you, get used to like being disliked, and be okay with that. Like you can't be a savior to everyone, like in the whole world. Like you cannot be, I don't know, Superman to everyone. Some people you can't save them. And another thing with people pleasing is if you don't watch yourself, you start resenting someone because you're the one who's going, I don't know, going out and doing all these crazy things, but it's like deep down, do you really want to do them? And then you slowly start hating, 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 hating. And that hate just becomes intense and intense and intense. And then you end up like, I don't know, doing something crazy or just like bursting on someone where it's like they're confused, like, honey, what is happening right now? But it's because you are also people pleasing. You're doing things that you don't want to do, right? Or you've been doing it for some time now, trying to keep the peace, but now it's like, oh, you're at your breaking point, but they don't know what you're doing. So that's why I come back to the point that people pleasing, if you really think about it, is definitely manipulation, and that's really messed up. You have to be okay with saying no, have to be okay with saying I cannot help right now. You have to be okay with saying like, I can't do it, or I don't know. You know, those type of things. Like, be okay with saying no. I think that was my biggest thing. And the first time you say no, like strictly no, it feels very intimidating. It feels very scary because you're like, I don't know, like, damn, I just said no. Oh my god, I feel bad, da 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 da, da, all these things. But then there's something about it that gives you confidence because it's like you're basically honoring yourself, having boundaries for yourself, you know? Like if you look at the whole situation in a different light, it's like, honey, you love yourself. Like you're not people pleasing. So you love yourself. You know? It's like you have been performing for so long, right? So when you try and hang your boots, no one will take you seriously. So that's why I'm saying that sometimes you just have to say how you're feeling or like be honest with your emotions and how how you're thinking, and that will definitely help you in situations where it's like if you're upset, people will know like, okay, Shinky is upset right now, let's give her space, let's be respectful. But if you're people pleasing, acting like you're this perfect human being that will never never ever ever get upset, honey, you'll be in for a ride. Like it will literally be something else for you. Okay, so that's my thoughts on people pleasing. I feel like people that like you will like you regardless. If people love you, they will love you regardless of you having a boundary for something or not. Like if you're in situations where, like, let's say if you're in situations where like you tell someone like, oh, I can't do this, or I can't help you do this, I can't help you pick up this thing, or whatever the situation might be, and they react in a very aggressive like way where they're like, oh, you're a bad person, then that's also not your friend, you know? It has to be like people just understanding each other. All I'm saying is when it comes to people pleasing, be okay with placing boundaries. I think that's a very, very big thing that I'm like, yeah, that's what you need to do. I learned that, well, for me, I learned it like over time. Like I was just kind of like, that's what you need to do. You just need to put boundaries for certain things because if you don't, you're going to perform for a very long time, and performing is exhausting. So it's like just be authentic, just be yourself, just show up as who you are. If you can help someone, then do help them. But if you feel like you're not able to do it, don't force yourself to help someone because now that's kind of like messed up. Like, girl, that's really messed up. Like, so yeah, just show up as who you truly are. Don't overextend yourself. Now, the final thing that I wanted to speak on is showing up as like your authentic self. Showing up as like your authentic self, I feel like for me, it's kind of hard because I'm a very cringy person. Like I'm super super cringe. Like by that I mean like I don't mean like cringy jokes. Like I do make cringy jokes, but I feel like my personality is not really for everyone. Like I can say something, and then if I ever have a conversation and someone says something like, "Ah, Shinky, you're such a character," or "Ah, Shinky, you're so interesting," like I don't take it very well because I don't want like to be on this like pedestal. Not like I take it like and then I start beating people up. No, I just don't take it very well. I just don't know what that means. I'm more like if I'm having a conversation with someone and then my whimsical personality comes out, or like I'm a very dramatic person, so like my face kind of speaks. I'll be like, "Yes, girl, you look so freaking good." Yes, then I'm very expressive. So when I'm doing that, if someone doesn't treat me differently because of it, but they just laugh along and we're just having fun, that's more my speed. Sometimes it can be very hard to show up as who you are authentically because of how people then respond to that. And I feel like growing up, that's where like maybe people pleasing came in, because it's like I remember, I think in primary, um that day I remember I cleaned up real good. I was looking neat in school, and I put on like lip gloss, so I had shiny lips, just like things that you do, looking neat and everything. Then this one guy came to me, and then he was like, "Shingy, like you kind of look like you're showing off, you know, like your attitude, you look just like, one of those girls that are trying to be like all shiny and everything. That's not a good look, da da da." everyone is saying it, all the guys are saying it. And mind you, I was literally in grade 4. So something like that will make you feel like, oh, so I need to switch up then and be more like likable towards the guys. And that's exactly what this girl did. That's what I did. So the next day I remember I switched up. I was like, oh, I have to look a little rough, like I shouldn't be too neat because um yeah, it'll make people not like me and all these things. So that's where like my people pleasing started, because now I was like, okay, how can I make people like me? How do I do it? Da, 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 and all these things. And I wasn't showing up as my very authentic self. So I feel like sometimes, because of things that people say, you can internalize those things, and then that can lead you to people pleasing. That's why I wanted to like join these two topics, in the sense that like sometimes, because of the comments that people make. Like, let's say someone says, like, when you wear this outfit, you look really ugly, but you really like the outfit. What's going to happen is you're going to stop and perform and start dressing maybe more like the way they dress, because you're like, I'm trying to fit in, right? But then deep down, you know for a fact that you love that other outfit, right? And then that's also a sense of like people pleasing. That's where it comes from, because it's like, you're trying to keep the peace, you don't want to upset anyone, or you want to be liked. I feel like for me it wasn't like upsetting anyone per se, but it was more like the wanting of being liked. I really wanted to be liked, and that led me to people please, especially like from primary and like going up to high school, which is kind of sad, but we worked through it. And now I'm on the other side, just like educating and speaking on it, so that if you are in the same boat where it's like you genuinely can't stop people pleasing, I want you to know that you always find your people. Like, you always find your people that will respect your boundaries, people that will also ask about your boundaries. I feel like it's not always about like you having to say a boundary for people to then like understand that, okay, don't do this. It's more like finding people that also just respect boundaries. Like, if they don't know, they can ask you like, oh, Shingi, are you okay with like hair being on your bed? That's like someone showing that they care. You don't always have to say like, oh, I don't want this, but it's also like good to speak up for yourself in situations where it's like you also need to place a boundary first, instead of just like keeping quiet, but you know for a fact that you hate when hair is on your bed. So yeah, I just feel like those two are tied together. Being cringy or expressive by default, right, makes you feel like an outsider. Like, I can't explain it, but like my personality is very much like whimsy, and I can say like things in a very dramatic way. And even especially when I was growing up, I think that's when I kind of landed in the realm of people pleasing, because I remember there was also like this one guy. I used to talk to this guy, and then just like flirting over the phone type of stuff. And then he would say things like, and I used to make like funny content, I would make funny videos, and then he would say things like, Shingi, why do you make this type of content? Like, that's so cringy. You're so cringy. Like, take it down. Stop posting things like this. Mind you, I'm just a child. Like, I'm just like very young, I don't know, 13, 14, like very, very young. And then someone is like, yeah, Shingi, that's so freaking cringe. Like, take it down. Like, it's not even funny. Why do you make stuff like this? Because that's actually who I am. Obviously, when you're young, like your personality shows up more, and I'm a very dramatic, creative, ha 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 type of person. And I remember internalizing these things, because I was like, oh, damn. So because of my character, I need to switch it up a bit, because it's not going to make me likable. But people never used to like know all these things, because I also have a very like funny side where I can just goof around. I can make a joke in like tough situations or those type of things. So no one would really clock that, oh, Shingi feels this way about herself. But it definitely was one of those, like, because I'm a cringy, expressive, dramatic person, I have to morph into something I'm not, so that I can be liked. And that's how I kind of ended up like in that thought process of like, oh, let me just keep quiet. Even if I'm offended, let me keep quiet. Like, just internalizing everything and stuff like that, which was not great. I forgive myself for like internalizing those things. And I have forgiven myself. I'm just speaking on this because I know that there are other people that probably are in the same shoes. But I want you to understand that, like, people pleasing, bro, it's so bad, bro. Like, it's more like a weird manipulative tactic if you think about it. Because, like I said, it's more like a guy giving a girl everything, buying her everything, but deep down he doesn't like her. That's messed up. That's manipulation, literally. So it's the same freaking thing. There are not even many people that I can express myself to. Honestly, if I'm to count, they're like three or four. In this four, my sister is included, where I'm like fully safe to just be shingy and cringy and vibey and fully myself without feeling like some type of way or feeling like I've been judged. It's a very small group of people like that can see my full personality, and I can just be like, I'm not overthinking anything. Otherwise, with other people, when they make comments like, you're such a character, you're so interesting, I then feel like, okay, the need to perform or to morph into someone I'm not. Like, okay, I'm not going to do too much and stuff like that, which is kind of like off-putting. And why would I want to be around things like that? But growing up, obviously, I didn't realize these things, so I'll just kind of like, try my best to morph into the best version of who they want me to be. But it's like, that's not what I want to do, though, those type of things. So yeah, people pleasing can also stem from a lack of confidence in just being who you are. And I just want you to know that you will always find your people. Be confident in who you are, because your whimsy is definitely someone else's whimsy. Like, one man's fruit is another man's poison. You will always find your people, regardless of, like, what other people may think. So these are all the topics I wanted to say, guys, and I just want you to know that if you're a people pleaser, you definitely can stop, and it's okay. I want you to be okay with saying no. I want you to be okay with having boundaries. It's freaking okay for you to have boundaries. I used to feel like, oh, I can't have boundaries for anything. Like, if, let's say, I'm not feeling something, or if I'm not feeling something and then I express that I'm not feeling something, I would feel bad that I've expressed like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it's like, I don't want to do it though, you know? So loving yourself is being able to take care of yourself first before you even take care of other people. So pray about it. Go to God, tell him, I don't want to people please. I don't want to keep the peace only. Like, you can still be a peaceful person, but not people please. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I think you get it. I hope that this video is helpful to you and you enjoy this conversation. And yeah, hopefully you subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. What are some of the conversations that you want to hear about? And if you're a people pleaser, I just want you to love yourself a little more. I just want you to know that it's okay to have freaking boundaries. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm getting really tired and dizzy. I'm super hungry, so that's also like another thing. But yeah, guys, have a good night or a good day. Mwah.